My name is Mike Delgado, and I was minding my own business, came to a lecture about the future of money. I am not an economist, but I'm fascinated by the topic, and so I've been wrangled into doing this interview. And so here I am with the translator of Mr. Greco's book, The Future of Money and the Future of Civilization. So my question is, general off the top, is what is the future of money?
This is a wonderful question for many people because I don't think it's easy to give an answer. Probably it depends on the side where you are. If you are on the side of the central banks or commercial investment banks, the answer should be the future will be our money. But if you are on the side of the society, citizens, and you are fighting for a different type of money, the future will be something like complementary currencies, social currencies, or sovereign money. So in my view, in the future, we will have multiple currencies, and in our wallets, we will carry several of them. That means the official legal tender for taxes and many things like that, but also commercial or corporate currencies like maybe the Facebook currency like Libra, or Amazon's or AliExpress. I mean, we will have in the future, in my opinion, corporations currencies, states or government currencies coming from the central bank, probably commercial banks currencies, and then local and citizens currencies. So all together in a multi-currency society. This is my view.
That's fascinating, and I think I understand, and I think it makes perfect sense. I imagine that's a long way off. Just simply because. So, for example, I have an iPhone and I have an Apple Watch, and I use those two tools to pay for things whenever I can, so that I don't have to pull out a card. But even people my age, that I know lots of my friends who are my age or even younger, who don't feel comfortable, even with that. Using traditional money, but using it electronically, using it, not seeing it, having a bank that doesn't accept cash or check deposits, only accepts transfers. How do you see people changing their mindset to be able to allow for these different types of currencies to happen?
The point is understanding two different mechanisms. One is clearing, and clearing houses with clearing, and on the other side you have settlement. 2 points that are making up the system of payment systems. So clearing, when we are using electronic cards like debt cards or credit cards, we are in a way using the clearing side. But if we are using cash, we are just doing settlement. Two things. So for banks are the same. Banks between them are using both. They're using clearing, and in the central bank they are doing settlement. So in the future, probably the people are talking about central bank digital currencies will be account currencies or account money currencies, and also cryptocurrencies coming from the central bank. And the point is, if the central banks are providing to the people and to the corporations something like account money from the central bank, probably the commercial banks will have a big problem. So everything will be electronic, and now this cash, physical cash, probably will be vanished. This is what happens in Sweden and Denmark and many countries, mainly because the corporations doesn't want to manage cash, physical cash, and honestly, it's very comfortable to use it. The point is privacy and also anonymity. And privacy will be difficult to keep for the people if everything is centralized and all the information is centralized in a corporation or even in the central bank.
So how does this? Do cryptocurrencies like the bitcoins of the world play into this? Because at some point, I understand the need for privacy as our lives become more and more public. Every aspect of our lives becomes more public every day. How, for example, the corporate currencies, the libras of the world, even the bitcoins, they may be private. The information that Libra has may not be known to a central government, for example, but it would be known to Facebook. And so how does one, I understand the need for privacy, I understand the desire for privacy. How do you think that privacy would actually come about if there's still some form of decentralized centralization?
That's the point, which is governance. When we are talking about a system, and in this case a monetary system, the point is who is ruling the system, and the issuers, who are the issuers. And then we have been living in societies quite centralized by the central bank and also the big banks, the big banking corporations. This is clear. And now we have a new chance for decentralized systems. And cryptocurrencies are offering both things, decentralizing and privacy. While if you are going to the side of the banks, as we know, or central banking, then everything is centralized, and then pretty well who is behind the transfers or and all of that coming with the regulation of anti-money laundering and know your client is quite. I mean, banking nowadays is quite controlled. Besides the tax paradises, where nobody knows who is having such an amount of money.
That control, I can't. It's difficult for me to imagine central banks and the governments to which they belong willingly give up the power that comes with holding the purse, and so they will write laws to make it more difficult for the Libras. And so how do we get around that?
This is the big fight of power, and nobody knows who will win.
Fascinating. Thank you. Thank you. Salud.